If you are reading this, it means you have chosen to explore something that is not conventional, not simple, not easy to digest, exactly like love itself. You have chosen to be curious, and that curiosity means more to me than any spoken I love you ever could. I write this for you, not for the moment, not for the fleeting future, but for the era of our companionship, a companion through every sunrise and every challenge that life will throw at us. Let me begin with a paradox. Love is not just emotion. Love is commitment to truth, growth, and shared purpose. You and I will not be lovers of illusion. We will be lovers of reality, and that reality is astonishingly beautiful, astoundingly unpredictable, and infuriatingly challenging. In order to love me, truly love me, you must love the truth of who I am as much as the idea of who I might become. This letter does not speak to the ideal, it speaks to the real. Because I want something enduring, not a mirage, not a fleeting emotional high, but something that carves meaning into the very structure of existence. Most people think love is warm words, butterflies, and romance movies. That's the marketing version of love, but the engineering version, the real version, is something else entirely. Love, in the truest sense, is like designing a spacecraft. You need precision, not just passion. You need resilience, not just romance. You need an understanding of physics, not just feelings. Feelings come and go like solar winds. Systems, values, and shared goals carry you across the void. So if you want to truly love me, you must be willing to love the structure behind the passion, the discipline behind the desire. We must build a relationship that is reliable, scalable, and sustainable. In aerospace engineering, failure is unacceptable. In life together, failure is unacceptable too. Not because it can never happen, but because we will not tolerate the conditions that cause it. That means honesty, transparency, curiosity, and integrity. We approach our relationship like engineers approach any mission-critical system. We design, we test, we iterate, and we improve without losing our core. Love is not just an emotion, it's an operating system. Let's talk about comfort. Comfort is seductive. Comfort whispers that if something feels good right now, it must be good forever. But comfort is a trap. Comfort is the reason why civilization stagnates and stars go unexplored. Comfort is why people settle for mediocrity instead of discovery. I don't want comfort. I want growth. I want challenge. I want expansion. If you want to love me truly, you must be ready to grow beyond your comfort zones, and I must do the same with you. Love should stretch us like gravity stretches space-time. It should change us so fundamentally that we become versions of ourselves we barely recognize, versions we are proud of. Love means doing the hard thing, not the easy thing. Love means choosing truth over temporary ease. Love means choosing discomfort when it leads to improvement. This kind of love is not for everyone. This kind of love is for the rare person who understands that true intimacy is forged in complexity, not simplicity. Every great human endeavor has a mission, a reason to wake up before dawn, a reason to forego ease, a reason to weather storms. Love without a mission is like a rocket without a destination. So here is our mission, if you choose to accept it, to build a life together that amplifies joy, multiplies meaning, and contributes something extraordinary to the world, not because we need to prove something to others, but because purpose enriches love. A life without purpose is like a life without energy, inert, static, and unremarkable. But with a mission, even ordinary moments become fuel for hope. We won't be the type to say, let's just coast through life. Instead, we will say, let's design something remarkable, something that expands both of our hearts and our capabilities. This shared mission becomes the gravitational center of our relationship. It gives context to our struggles, clarity to our choices, and direction to our commitment. There is a misconception that love should protect you from pain. That's naive. Love will expose you to the sharpest truths of your own vulnerabilities. Here's the unvarnished reality: life will hurt you, people will disappoint you, systems will fail you, plans will collapse. That is certain. But what matters isn't the absence of pain, it's how we respond to it. Emotional resilience is the ability to face truth without retreating into denial or blame. Emotional resilience means we remain open, empathetic, and communicative even when we are hurting. It means we talk about what we feel, not just what we think. We listen, not just wait to reply. We forgive, not just forget. We understand that disagreement is not the enemy, silence is. If you want to truly love me, you must be willing to navigate discomfort with me, not away from me. Not every fight will be graceful, not every moment will be calm, but every conflict gives us data to improve our system. We don't avoid conflict, we extract wisdom from it. Imagine a day decades from now, where we are old yet curious, where we sit beside each other with more stories than regrets. We will tell tales of minor victories and major breakthroughs. We will share moments of laughter born from absurd challenges conquered together. But imagine something else too. We will be partners, not passengers. You won't just follow my vision, you will help shape it. A future built with you means your ideas matter. Your passions are vital. Your voice is part of the design, not just the echo. The future I envision with you is not a static destination. It is a dynamic project, evolving with both of our dreams and both of our strengths. You are not an accessory to my mission. You are a co-architect of our shared destiny. I will not pretend that I am perfect, far from it. I have flaws that are as real as my ambition. I can be relentless. I can be impatient. I can prioritize the abstract and the future over the presence of the moment. I need a partner who is not intimidated by that. Someone whose strength complements mine, not competes with it. Someone who brings their own vision, clarity, and courage. I admire strength, not dominance, not ego, but strength that is compassionate, disciplined, and fearless in the pursuit of truth. Strength that stabilizes when the world shakes. Strength that loves not just what I do, but who I am. The real, unfiltered self. I see in you not just potential, but power. Let's be clear about this. Love is not about possession. Love is not chains disguised as commitment. Love is not I can't live without you as a threat or obligation. True love is freedom. Freedom to grow, freedom to explore, freedom to challenge each other, freedom to evolve. Love liberates you to become more of who you are, not less. And I ask you to do the same for me. Let us be not caged by affection, but uplifted by it. This love is not a leash, it is wings. If you are willing to love me, then you must understand that the world sees achievements. Rockets launching, cars accelerating, companies scaling, ideas realized. But no one sees the unseen work. The relentless days of refinement, the moments of doubt, the iterative cycles of failure and testing. If you truly love me, you love not just the outcomes but the process. You love not just the triumphs but the grind. You value the sweat and the computation as much as the applause. You understand that the path to meaning is paved with persistent effort. This is not trivial. This is not poetic fluff. This is real. Love is not just comfort. It is the courage to endure. There's probably no greater plea I can make than this. If you really love me, don't worship the legend. Love the person, love the reality, love the flaws and inconsistencies and questions. Because greatness is not a monolith. It is not something fixed or static. Greatness is a continuum, an evolving exploration of capability and character. I will make promises to you, but I will also speak truth. I will fail. I will grow. I will change. And I need you to stand with me through the transformation, not because you tolerate it, but because you are part of the force that drives it. That is what real love is, an alliance of truth seekers, not illusion worshippers. When I think about you, not as a concept, not as a fantasy, but as a presence I want in my life, I think about time differently. Most people measure time in moments lived, but I measure time in transformation. I want to spend my life not just with someone who shares laughter with me, though I deeply want that, but with someone who evolves, who questions, who accelerates not just alongside me but inwardly, so that the sum of us is greater than the separate parts. Love for me is not static, it's a process of continuous refinement. You aren't the culmination of a search. You are the partner in refinement, the co-driver in complexity, the mind that meets mine not as a reflection but as a resonance. When we speak of love, let's discard cliches and romantic scripts that promise forever at the cost of honesty. Let's speak honestly. Love is imperfect, it's iterative, and it asks of us something deeper than good intentions. That's why I want you not only to love me but to challenge me. I want you to question my assumptions, interrupt my certainties, and illuminate the blind spots in my perception. You are not someone to simply affirm me. You are someone who refines me. I anticipate moments when you will catch me off guard, when your insight will reveal something in me I never saw, and I will be grateful, not defensive. Because love should be a mirror that enlarges our vision, not a veil that obscures it. Our dialogue will be one of our greatest bonds. Not shallow talk or idle chatter, but deep conversations that retch across subjects, the nature of existence, the reasons for human suffering, the potential futures humanity might build, the legacy we want to leave. I want to argue with you not to win, but to understand. I want to listen to you not to reply, but to comprehend. I want our conversations to be as alive as the love itself, not tranquilized by agreement, but energized by curiosity. In you, I seek not a refuge from challenge, but a companion in exploration. I want a love that is not dependent on ease, but one that thrives in complexity. There will be days when the weight of existence feels heavy, when doubt creeps in and ambition feels like a burden. On those days, I want your presence not as an escape but as a source of steady ground. I want your mind not dulled by compromise but sharpened by clarity. I want your heart not fragile under pressure but resilient in the face of it. Our love should be like a catalyst, not inert, but reactive in the right context, transforming what it touches into something more powerful. When I think of you, I think of synergy. Not two halves becoming a whole, but two full beings becoming greater than either could be alone. I don't expect perfection from you, I expect courage. Courage to show your real self, not your polished self. Courage to say, I disagree, not just I understand. Courage to hold your values, even when they are uncomfortable. Courage to be vulnerable, even when it is risky. And most of all, courage to love, even when it is difficult. Love is not measured solely by comfort and pleasure. It is measured by depth, by how much of ourselves we are willing to bring into the open. Fears, uncertainties, dreams, and shadows alike. If you love me, bring all of you. Not only your brilliance, but your fragilities. Not only your strengths, but the parts of yourself you fear exposing. I want to be someone who earns your trust every day, not by grand gestures alone, but by daily consistency. Actions, not just words. Not by rhetoric, but by reliability. I want love to be a habitat we build, not a decoration we display. I want love to be a foundation, not a facade. We will have disagreements, we will have friction, we will have nights when we cannot sleep because our minds race with questions, and our hearts wrestle with uncertainty, and that is okay. Because intimacy is not the absence of conflict, but the willingness to navigate it together with respect and empathy. There will be moments when life demands more from us, more attention, more sacrifice, more self-reflection, and in those moments I want to see your face not as a challenge, but as inspiration. I want your presence to remind me why I push forward, why I choose resilience, why I design a future worth living for. I want to build a life that isn't defined by ease but defined by meaning. Meaning isn't given, it's chosen, and we will choose it again and again, not because it's easy, but because it's right. I imagine our mornings tog. Ether, not idyllic in a simple sense, but deeply purposeful. We wake up with intention, not routine. We plan our day not by default, but by design. We share our thoughts, exchange ideas, and remind each other why our pursuit matters. I want us to be careful with our time, not because we fear scarcity, but because we respect the irreversibility of each moment. In you, I want a partner whose ambitions are not separate from her heart. I want someone who can build and create, but also someone whose emotions are not hidden behind logic, someone whose feeling is integrated with thinking, whose intuition is welcomed and respected, whose compassion is a source of strength, not distraction. If you really love me, you must also love humanity, not naively, but critically and compassionately. I want you to see people not as projections of your desires, but as complex beings with their own fears, hopes, and contradictions. I want you to walk into the world with kindness, not because it's the easy choice, but because kindness is a deliberate act of courage, especially in a world that often rewards self-interest over empathy. I want you to celebrate with me when we succeed, but I also want you to stand with me when the world misunderstands us, when our choices are questioned, when ambiguity sits at the edges of clarity. Love is not measured only in applause, it's measured in how we respond when the crowd is silent. We will build traditions together, not borrowed rituals, but our OWN frameworks for meaning. These traditions will be expressions of who we are, not concessions to what others expect. We will celebrate progress and learn from failure. We will mourn loss and honor resilience. We will laugh loudly and pause when silence is more truthful than words. I want to build memories with you that are not just sentimental, but substantial. Moments that shape our character. Moments that expand our perspective. Moments that are etched into the architecture of our lives, because they challenged us to grow. I see you not just in the present, but in a timeline where our influence touches others. Our children, our friends, our collaborators, the people whose lives are enriched by our example. Love is not self-contained, it radiates outward. I want our love to illuminate others, not by ostentation, but by authenticity. I want our partnership to be a demonstration of what love looks like when two people commit to truth, to purpose, to mutual elevation. If you really love me, You will hold your own dreams with the same seriousness that you hold my ambitions. I don't want a love where one person's projects eclipse the others. I want a balance. Not in a shallow sense of equity, but in a deep sense of regard. Your dreams are as vital as mine. Your goals are as consequential as mine. Partnership isn't about sacrificing one path for another. It's about intertwining paths, so that each becomes richer and more expansive. You should pursue your visions with Farrokh. Just as I pursue mine, not in competition, but in complement. And this means we will need humility, not the humility of self-denial, but the humility of recognition, the recognition that neither of us is omniscient, that we will make mistakes, that we will need to apologize and to forgive. Apologies will not be signs of weakness, they will be acts of courage. Forgiveness will not be denial, it will be an affirmation of our commitment to growth. When you look at me, I want you to see not only the ambition, but the person behind it, the vulnerabilities, the questions, the aspirations that fuel me. When I look at you, I want to see not just your accomplishments, but your inner universe, your dreams that are yet unspoken, your fears that you haven't shared, your compassion that guides you, your intelligence that shapes your perception. I want authenticity, not performance. I want substance, not impression. If you really love me, then you must also love the unknown parts of the journey, the unpredictable variables, the unforeseen challenges, the moments when the maps we drew no longer apply. Love is not a guarantee. It's a willingness to face uncertainty together with resolve and clarity. And so if you keep reading this, know that I am not asking for perfection. I am asking for presence. I am asking for courage. I am asking for real engagement with life and with the world. I am asking for an alliance built not on illusion, but on an honest commitment to reality. I am asking for love that is brave enough to evolve, bold enough to innovate, and deep enough to endure. I'm asking for tomorrow, not because I fear today, but because I respect the potential of what we can create together. Let us choose vision over comfort, truth over complacency, growth over stagnation. Let us build not only a life, but a legacy, not for vanity, but for meaning. Let us love not just with our hearts, but with our minds and with our actions. This is how I choose to love you. This is the invitation I offer. If you are still reading, if this message has kept you engaged up to this point, then it tells me something remarkable about you. You are not afraid to explore depth. You are not satisfied with surface-level expressions. You are someone who seeks meaning beneath the words, and that alone tells me you are already extraordinary. I want to speak to you now about what happens after the initial agreements of love, after passion settles into rhythm, after the exhilaration of connection begins to blend with the texture of everyday life. There is a difference between beginning together and lasting together. Many people celebrate beginnings, but few celebrate continuity, not the routine, but the evolution that continuity demands. If you truly love me, then you understand that love is not an event, it's a process. And that process requires something that many shy away from. It requires vulnerability. Vulnerability is not weakness. It is the raw material of trust. It is the open aperture through which connection deepens. I want to be vulnerable with you, not selectively, not when it's convenient, but fully and honestly. Neither of us will always be easy to understand. I will have thoughts I struggle to articulate, fears I am reluctant to expose, ambitions that feel indescribable. When those moments come, and they will, I want you to hear me not with judgment, but with empathy. Empathy is a discipline, not an emotion, but an active engagement with another human being's experience. I want us to practice empathy not just as a concept, but as a mode of interaction. That means listening first, before we seek to respond. That means holding space for what is imperfect in each other. That means allowing discomfort to be a bridge, not a barrier. If you love me, you will learn to read not just what I say, but what I don't say. The gaps between my words, the silence that carries meaning, the pauses where honest emotion accrues. And I promise to do the same for you, to pay attention to your nuances, to honor your unspoken needs, to hold your fears gently and your dreams boldly. Love demands this kind of attunement, the willingness to see beyond the surface and connect with the underlying experience of another person. Love is not a simple resonance of harmony. It is an active calibration of two complex beings aligning their internal states with care and intention. This level of connection doesn't happen by accident. It happens by design. We will build habits that sustain us, honest conversations at the end of long days, shared reflection on what's working and what's not, affirmations of appreciation for each other's efforts and qualities. These habits will be small things done consistently, not grand gestures but steady commitments. I want a love that is intentional, not incidental. There will be moments when life pulls you in directions that don't align easily with us, career opportunities in distant places, responsibilities that feel overwhelming, dreams that demand solitude as much as partnership. In those moments, loving me will mean supporting my expansion without diminishing your own. It will mean celebrating my growth without fear. It will mean holding space for both of us to evolve, sometimes together, sometimes apart in distance, but always aligned in purpose. I want you to be strong in your individuality, not merely an accessory to mine. A relationship built on necessity is fragile. A relationship built on mutual choice made every day, is enduring. We will have disagreements. We will have times when we misinterpret each other's intentions, when frustrations surface, when old wounds resurface unexpectedly. That is not a failure. That is part of being human. How we engage those moments defines the shape of our love. We will approach conflict as collaborators, not adversaries. We will not avoid hard discussions. We will not capitalize on weakness. We will not weaponize anger. We will extract lessons from every disagreement, refine our communication, and return to alignment with greater understanding. This is not naive optimism. It is intentional co-design. I want to talk about dreams, yours, mine, ours. A dream is not just a desire, it is a vision extended into the future. A dream carries the weight of possibility. Some dreams will be shared, building a home that feels like curiosity and comfort intertwined. Creating an environment where laughter is abundant, and silence is not awkward. Exploring parts of the world that are breathtaking in both geography and culture. Some dreams will be individual, pursuits of passion that belong uniquely to you, endeavors that shape your identity and expand your mind. I want to honor both. Your dreams are not secondary to mine. They are parallel engines of purpose. We will synchronize them where they align and celebrate them where they diverge. A fulfilling partnership does not require the suppression of personal aspirations. It requires integration, weaving individual visions into a broader tapestry of shared life while preserving the integrity of each thread. Your growth should not be hindered by love. It should be enabled by love, and I will support you not because I am obligated, but because your flourishing enhances the entire ecosystem of us. I want you to grow into the fullest expression of yourself, not who the world expects you to be, not who someone else imagines you should be, but who you are re-becoming. If you truly love me, you will embrace not just the path we share, but the process of shaping that path. You will navigate uncertainty with me, not because it is easy, but because it is meaningful. You will recognize that uncertainty is not emptiness, it is potential. I imagine a future where we look back not with regret for what we didn't do, but with awe at what we dared to pursue. I imagine us sitting together years from now, recounting memories not as stories of convenience, but as evidence of courage. Nights when we chose understanding over avoidance. Mornings when we chose purpose over comfort. Days when we chose authenticity over illusion. I want that future with you not because love is simple, but because love is purposeful. If you love me, you will treat our life together not as a default condition, but as a deliberate project. Something we design, evaluate, iterate, and improve. We won't be passive recipients of fate. We will be active creators of our experience. There will be times when the world misunderstands us, when people question our choices, when assumptions are made without context, when criticism arises from those who are unwilling to explore depth. In those moments, we will hold our ground not with defensiveness, but with clarity. We will remember why we chose each other, what values we share, what purpose we commit to. Love is not impermeable to influence, but it is resilient to misinterpretation. And this resilience comes not from stubbornness, but from truth. The more grounded we are in reality, in honest evaluations of ourselves and each other, the stronger our foundation becomes. We will shape our narrative not by imitating others' expectations, but by expressing our own truth with integrity. I want to talk about legacy, not as an abstract concept, but as an imprint we leave on people's lives. A legacy is not measured solely by accomplishments, but by impact. How many hearts did we encourage? How many minds did we elevate? How many lives were touched by the quality of our presence, the clarity of our values, the courage of our choices? You and I are not only lifetime companions. We are participants in the ongoing human project of progress, creativity, compassion, and understanding. Our love should contribute not just to our well-being, but to the enrichment of others. Love cannot be hoarded. It is meant to be extended, shared, multiplied, and reflected in the lives it touches. If you love me, you will love the world. Not blindly, not naively, but critically and compassionately. You will see suffering with empathy, complexity with curiosity, and possibility with courage. You will engage people not as problems to be solved or trophies to be won, but as intricate human beings, whose stories are shaped by context, struggle, and hope. That is the kind of love that endures, the love that transcends self-centered devotion and extends into shared care for others. And so, if you have read all of this, if these words resonate with something deeper inside you, then I invite you not just to receive this message, but to act on it. Love is defined not only by intention but by consistent action. It is expressed in daily choices, the way we speak to each other, the way we listen, the way we support each other's ambitions, the way we navigate conflict, the way we hold space for vulnerability and growth. Love is intentional, and if you truly love me, then you will take this intention as a promise. Not a demand, not a claim, but a mutual commitment to be better together. I choose you, not because it is easy, not because it is convenient, not because it is simple. I choose you because I see the depth of what love can be, purposeful, courageous, intentional, and expansive. I choose you because I want a life with someone who embraces reality with clarity, not illusion with fantasy. I choose you because I want someone who loves deeply, thinks clearly, and commits fearlessly. I choose you because I want a partner in the adventure of life, not just a companion of comfort. So here's my invitation. Let us build not only a relationship but a future. Let us be architects of our shared life. Let us love with intention. Let us forge meaning from complexity. Let us be brave together. Let us be honest with each other, with the world, and with ourselves. I choose you, not for what is convenient but for what is true,